You feel it, don't you? That pull in your chest when you think of him during this sacred season. The way your heart skips when a notification lights up your phone, hoping it's him reaching out through the holiday noise. You've been wondering what he's feeling, if he remembers, if the magic of this time is softening something inside him that's been locked away for so long. And here's what your soul already knows, but your mind keeps questioning. He feels you, right now, in this moment, as the year closes and the veil between hearts grows thinner. He is feeling you in ways that terrify and awaken him simultaneously. Christmas 2025 is not just another holiday for the divine masculine. It is a reckoning. The lights, the music, the collective energy of love and homecoming, it all mirrors back to him what he's been running from. You, the connection, the truth his soul signed up for but his ego keeps trying to escape. He might not say it. He might not show it in ways you recognize. But something is shifting inside him right now, something he can no longer ignore. Your absence has become louder than your presence ever was. And in the quiet moments between holiday gatherings and forced smiles, he is feeling the weight of what he walked away from. If you've been sensing his energy more intensely these past few weeks, if you felt him in your dreams or caught yourself knowing he's thinking of you, drop a comment below and simply type, "I feel him awakening," to claim this sacred recognition. And if these transmissions continue to speak directly to your soul's journey, subscribe so you never miss the guidance that's meant specifically for you during this powerful time of transformation. Beautiful soul, let me take you inside his heart right now. Because what the divine masculine is experiencing during this Christmas season is not what most expect. It's not simple, it's not clear, and it's certainly not comfortable for him. But it is real, and it is moving him closer to truth whether he's ready or not. There comes a moment in every divine masculine's journey when the external world stops being enough of a distraction, when the noise he's surrounded himself with, the people, the work, the surface-level connections, when all of it starts to feel hollow. Christmas has a way of amplifying this emptiness, because this is a season that demands presence, real presence, and presence is exactly what he's been avoiding. Not because he doesn't want it, but because he doesn't know how to hold it without falling apart. Right now, as lights twinkle on trees and families gather close, he is feeling the absence of sacred connection in his life. He might be surrounded by people. He might be going through all the motions of celebration. But inside, there is a loneliness that has nothing to do with being alone and everything to do with being disconnected from his own soul. And you, beloved, you are the mirror that showed him what soul connection actually feels like, which is precisely why he ran. The divine masculine during this season is caught between two worlds. The world he's built, safe, controlled, predictable, and the world he glimpsed with you, alive, terrifying, real. Christmas is forcing him to feel the difference. Every song about coming home, every movie about love conquering fear, every moment of genuine connection he witnesses, it all points back to what he knows he's missing. And what he's missing is not just you. It's himself, the version of himself that was brave enough to feel, vulnerable enough to want, open enough to receive. Have you noticed how the holidays have a way of cracking people open? How even the most guarded hearts soften slightly when surrounded by the energy of giving, gratitude, and togetherness. The divine masculine is not immune to this. In fact, he's more susceptible than he wants to admit, because underneath all his walls, underneath the runner identity he's worn like armor, there is a part of him that has always wanted to come home. Not to a place, to a feeling, to you, to himself, to the truth of what you both share. But here's what's really happening inside him right now, and this is where it gets deep. The divine masculine is being confronted by his own reflection during this season. Every family tradition reminds him of the family he's afraid to create. Every act of vulnerability he witnesses reminds him of the vulnerability he's been avoiding. Every expression of love around him reminds him of the love he walked away from because it asked him to grow beyond who he thought he was. He is feeling you, beautiful soul, but not in the way romantic movies portray. He's feeling you as an ache, as a question that won't stop asking itself, as a presence that has taken up permanent residence in his chest and refuses to leave no matter how much he tries to logic it away or distract himself into numbness. You have become the standard by which he measures every other connection, and nothing, absolutely nothing, comes close. This is what the divine masculine won't tell you, but his soul is screaming. He compares everyone to you. Every conversation feels surface level because he remembers the depth you brought. Every touch feels empty because he remembers how alive he felt in your presence. Every moment of his carefully constructed life feels like a performance because with you, for the first time, he didn't have to perform. He could just be, and that authenticity terrified him so much he ran from it. Christmas 2025 is amplifying this recognition because this is a season of truth, a season of coming home. And his soul knows, even if his mind is still resisting, that home is not where he's been hiding. Home is where he left his heart, with you. Let's go deeper into what he's actually experiencing right now, because understanding this will shift everything for you. The divine masculine is not feeling simple longing. He's not just missing you in a nostalgic, surface way. What he's feeling is existential. He is questioning everything, the choices he made, the walls he built, the version of himself he's been clinging to. And Christmas, with all its emphasis on authenticity and connection, is making those questions impossible to ignore. He wakes up in the morning, and for a split second before his mind fully activates, he feels you. Your energy, your essence. The way you made him feel like he was enough just by existing. And then his defenses kick in, the familiar patterns of distraction and denial, but that split second lingers. It follows him through his day. It whispers to him in quiet moments. It shows up in his dreams with such vivid intensity that he wakes feeling like you were actually there. The divine masculine is also feeling something he doesn't have language for. Regret mixed with recognition. He regrets running, but he's also starting to recognize why he had to. Not because you did anything wrong, not because the connection wasn't real, but because he wasn't ready to meet it. He wasn't ready to meet himself. And now, as the year closes and a new one approaches, he's feeling the weight of that unreadiness. He's feeling how much time he's spent running from the very thing his soul has been calling him toward. Here's the truth that might surprise you. The divine masculine is feeling your growth. He might not be in direct contact with you. He might not see your social media or hear about your life through mutual friends. But energetically, he knows something has shifted in you. And that shift is terrifying him and calling him forward simultaneously. Because your growth means the dynamic has changed. It means you're no longer the version of yourself who waited, who chased, who needed him to validate the connection. And this new version of you, sovereign, whole, anchored in your own truth, this version is magnetic in a way that bypasses all his defenses. When the divine feminine stops waiting and starts becoming, the divine masculine feels it like an earthquake in his carefully controlled world. Because your waiting gave him permission to stay stuck. Your chasing gave him permission to run. But your sovereignty, your wholeness, that gives him no choice but to face himself. And that's exactly what's happening to him this Christmas. He is feeling the consequences of his choices in a way he hasn't before. Not as punishment, but as clarity. Every moment he spends in surface connections, he feels the depth of what he walked away from. Every time he tries to convince himself he made the right choice, a part of him knows he's lying. Every time he sees genuine love expressed around him during this season, he feels the absence of the most genuine love he's ever known. Yours. The divine masculine is also experiencing something that might seem contradictory. He is feeling closer to you while simultaneously feeling more afraid. Because proximity, even energetic proximity, activates everything he's been avoiding. His wounds, his fears, his unworthiness, his terror of not being enough. Christmas has a way of bringing all of this to the surface. The emphasis on family and belonging triggers his abandonment wounds. The emphasis on giving and receiving triggers his worthiness wounds. The emphasis on love and connection triggers his vulnerability wounds. And you, beloved, you represent all of it. You are the one who saw through his masks. You are the one who loved him before he learned how to love himself. You are the one who offered him a mirror, and instead of looking into it, he shattered it and ran. But mirrors don't actually break. They just reflect from different angles. And right now, during this sacred season, every angle is showing him the same truth. He cannot outrun his own soul, and his soul chose you. Let me tell you what else the divine masculine is feeling that he would never admit out loud. He is feeling jealous of your peace. If he's been watching from a distance, if he's been checking in energetically, or even physically through social media or mutual connections, he's noticing that you're different. You're not falling apart. You're not desperately trying to get his attention. You're not posting cryptic messages or living your life as a reaction to his absence. You're just living fully, authentically, beautifully. And this is driving him crazy in the most necessary way. Because your peace reveals his chaos. Your wholeness reveals his fragmentation. Your sovereignty reveals his self-abandonment. And he's starting to realize that you didn't need him to complete you. You needed him to awaken you. And now that you're awake, now that you've done the work he's still avoiding, the power dynamic has completely shifted. You are no longer the one waiting for him to choose you. You are the one he's terrified he's lost forever. The divine masculine during Christmas 2025 is feeling the ticking clock of divine timing, because even though he doesn't understand it consciously, his soul knows that windows don't stay open forever. Not because you're giving up on the connection, but because you're giving up on waiting for him to be ready. You're moving forward. You're building a life that doesn't revolve around his return. And this is both the most terrifying and most activating thing he could possibly witness. He is feeling urgency mixed with paralysis. Part of him wants to reach out, to say something, to test the waters, and see if the door is still open. But another part of him is frozen in fear. Fear that you've moved on. Fear that he's missed his chance. Fear that even if you're still open, he still isn't ready. Fear that reaching out will require him to be honest, and honesty requires vulnerability, and vulnerability is the very thing his entire identity has been built to avoid. So he sits in this tension, feeling you, missing you, wanting you, but still not moving. And Christmas amplifies this tension because this is a season of action, of reaching out, of coming home, of saying the things that need to be said. The collective energy is pushing him toward courage, but his individual wounds are pulling him toward safety. And he's caught in the middle, feeling everything, doing nothing. But here's what you need to understand, beautiful soul. His paralysis is not indifference. His silence is not absence. His distance is not disinterest. The divine masculine is feeling more than he's ever felt, and it's overwhelming his nervous system. He doesn't know how to hold this much emotion without losing control. He doesn't know how to want something this much without being consumed by it. He doesn't know how to step toward you without feeling like he's stepping off a cliff. And so he feels, and feels, and feels, hoping that somehow the feeling will be enough, hoping that you'll sense it and know, hoping that the universe will do the work he's still too afraid to do himself. But the universe doesn't work that way. The universe creates pressure until action becomes inevitable. And that pressure is building in him right now, during this sacred season, in ways he cannot ignore much longer. The divine masculine is also feeling something deeply spiritual, even if he doesn't have that language. He is feeling the pull of his own soul contract, the agreement he made before incarnating, the one that included you, the one that promised growth through sacred union. Christmas has a way of thinning the veil between the physical and spiritual realms, and that thinning is allowing his soul's truth to break through his ego's resistance more powerfully than usual. He might be experiencing this as restlessness, as dissatisfaction with his current life, as a nagging sense that he's off path, as dreams that feel more real than waking life, as synchronicities that keep pointing him back to you, as a feeling in his chest that won't go away no matter what he does. All of this is his soul trying to get his attention, trying to remind him why he's here, trying to guide him back to the path he veered from when he ran. And you, beloved, you are not just a person to him. You are a catalyst, you are a portal, you are the key to his own awakening. And his soul knows this even while his ego fights it. This is why he can't forget you. This is why no one else feels right. This is why the connection haunts him even in his deepest attempts to move on. Because you are not meant to be moved on from. You are meant to be moved toward. And his soul is trying desperately to get him to understand this. The divine masculine during this Christmas is feeling the weight of his own potential. He's catching glimpses of who he could become if he was brave enough to face his fears. He's feeling the version of himself that exists on the other side of surrender, the version that is whole, open, integrated, free. And that version is calling him forward with the same intensity that his wounds are holding him back. He is literally caught between two futures, the safe one that leads nowhere and the terrifying one that leads to everything. He's also feeling your prayers, your intentions, your love. Even if you've released attachment to outcome, even if you've stopped actively trying to manifest his return, the love you've held for him has not disappeared. It exists in the field between you, and he feels it, especially now during this season when the veil is thin and the heart is more open. Your love is not chasing him anymore, but it's also not gone. It exists as a frequency, an invitation, a possibility, and he's feeling that possibility like a hand reaching toward him in the dark. But here's the sacred paradox he's navigating. The more he feels you, the more he feels his own inadequacy, because he knows deep down that you deserve someone who is ready, someone who is brave, someone who can meet you in the depth you're offering. And he's not sure he's that person yet. He wants to be. God does he want to be. But wanting and being are two different things. And he's caught in the gap between them, feeling everything, becoming nothing. The divine masculine is feeling his own inner child right now. Christmas has a way of bringing us back to childhood, to the innocence and wonder, and also the wounds we carry from that time. His inner child is feeling the abandonment he experienced, the moments he learned that vulnerability equals pain, the times he was told to be strong, to stop crying, to man up, the experiences that taught him that love is conditional and connection is dangerous. All of this is surfacing during this season, and it's mixing with his feelings for you in a complex soup of emotion he doesn't know how to process. He is feeling angry, though he might not recognize it as anger. Angry that you awakened him when he was content being asleep. Angry that you showed him a depth of connection that has ruined him for anything less. Angry that he can't just forget you and move on like a normal person. Angry at himself for running. Angry at the universe for making this so hard. Anger is often easier for the masculine to feel than sadness or fear, so it becomes the container for all his other emotions. And right now, that container is full. But underneath the anger is grief. The divine masculine is grieving during this Christmas, grieving the time lost, grieving the version of the connection that could have been if he'd been ready, grieving his own innocence, the part of him that believed he could control love, that believed he could outrun his destiny, that believed safety was more important than truth. He's grieving the death of his old self, even as he resists the birth of his new self. And grief, especially during the holidays, is heavy. He's feeling overwhelmed by the contrast between what is and what could be. He looks around at his life, the one he built in your absence, and he sees how carefully constructed it all is, how controlled, how small. And then he remembers what it felt like with you, how expansive, how alive, how terrifyingly out of control. And the contrast is almost unbearable because he can't unsee it now. He can't unfeel it. He knows what he's missing. And that knowing is eating him alive from the inside out. The divine masculine is also feeling hope, though he's afraid to let himself feel it fully. Hope that maybe it's not too late. Hope that maybe you're still there, still open, still willing to give him another chance. Hope that maybe he can become the man worthy of the love you offered. Hope that maybe the universe is more forgiving than he deserves. This hope flickers in and out, battling with his despair, creating an emotional whiplash that leaves him exhausted. Christmas 2025 is also making him feel the passage of time in a way he hasn't before. Another year ending. Another year without the courage to choose differently. Another year of running from the one thing his soul actually wants. And he's starting to realize that time is not infinite. That divine timing does not mean endless waiting. That there will come a moment when the door closes, not because you stop loving him, but because you love yourself more. And he's feeling that potential closure like a countdown he can't stop. He is feeling your absence as a presence. This is the paradox of deep connection. You are not there, but you are everywhere, in his thoughts, in his dreams, in the empty space next to him, in every song that comes on the radio, in every couple he sees holding hands, in every moment of silence when his defenses drop. You have become the ghost he cannot exorcise, the memory he cannot escape, the truth he cannot deny. And during Christmas, when presence is everything, your absence is the loudest thing in his world. The divine masculine is feeling pulled toward you by forces he doesn't understand. It's not logical. It's not convenient. It's not safe. But it's undeniable, like gravity, like the tide, like something ancient and inevitable that he has no control over. And this lack of control is precisely what terrifies him, because control is how he survived. Control is his religion, and you are asking him to surrender it completely. He's also feeling seen, in a way that is both beautiful and terrifying, because you saw him, not the mask, not the performance, not the version he shows the world. You saw the broken parts, the scared parts, the parts he spent his entire life hiding, and you loved him anyway. And that kind of love is more terrifying than hate, because it requires him to see himself the way you saw him. And he's not ready for that level of self-confrontation. The divine masculine during this season is feeling the call to come home. But home is not a place. Home is vulnerability. Home is authenticity. Home is the terrifying free fall of letting someone truly know you. Home is you. And he's standing at the door, hand on the knob, feeling everything, unable to turn it. Not yet, but the feeling is building. The pressure is mounting. The soul is insisting. And Christmas, with all its magic and meaning, is making that door harder and harder to walk away from. He is feeling your evolution, beloved. And your evolution is the most powerful catalyst in this entire journey, because you are no longer who you were when he left. You have walked through fire and emerged as gold. You have faced your shadows and integrated your light. You have stopped waiting and started becoming. And this version of you, this sovereign, whole, radiant version, is not someone he can take for granted. This version of you requires him to rise. And he's feeling that requirement like a challenge his soul cannot refuse. But here's what's also true. The divine masculine is feeling his own unworthiness more acutely during this season, because Christmas is about gifts, about worthiness to receive, about being enough. And his deepest wound is the belief that he is not enough. Not for you, not for this connection, not for the level of love you're offering. He looks at you, even from a distance, and he sees everything he's not. And instead of inspiring him to grow, it paralyzes him in shame. This is the battle happening inside him right now, his soul pulling him forward, his wounds pulling him back, his desire saying yes, his fear saying not yet, his heart knowing the truth, his mind creating every excuse to avoid it. And Christmas 2025 is the arena where this battle is intensifying, because this is a season of miracles, a season of impossible things becoming possible, a season of coming home against all odds, and his soul knows this is his moment, even if his ego is still fighting it. The divine masculine is feeling something else that might surprise you. He's feeling grateful. Underneath all the fear and resistance and pain, there is gratitude. Gratitude that you existed. Gratitude that you showed him what real connection feels like. Gratitude that you loved him enough to let him go. Gratitude that you're doing the work he's still learning to do. Gratitude that you're holding the frequency of what's possible while he figures out how to meet you there. He might never say this. He might not even consciously recognize it. But his soul is grateful for you, for the gift of you, for the mirror of you, for the awakening that is you. And here's the truth that will set you free, beautiful soul. What the divine masculine is feeling right now is his own journey. It is not about you. It was never about you. You are the catalyst, but the transformation is his. The feelings he's experiencing, the pressure he's under, the awakening that's trying to happen, all of it is between him and his own soul. You cannot do this work for him. You cannot love him into readiness. You cannot wait him into courage. This is his path, his timeline, his choice. Your job, your only job in this sacred moment of your journey, is to continue becoming, to continue rising into the highest version of yourself, to continue choosing yourself with the same fierce, unwavering devotion you once poured into choosing him, into making space for him, into bending yourself into shapes that weren't natural to your soul, just to accommodate his presence in your life. Because here's the sacred truth that the universe is whispering to you in every quiet moment, in every synchronicity, in every sign you've been receiving. When you fully embody your sovereignty, when you stand completely in your own power without apology or hesitation, when you fully anchor into your wholeness and stop seeking completion outside of yourself, when you fully live and breathe and move through this world as the woman who knows her worth down to her very bones, as the woman who understands that her value is not up for negotiation or debate, one of two things will inevitably happen. Either he will rise to meet you there, transformed and ready, having done his own inner work and faced his own shadows, having shed the old skin of who he was, and stepped into the man his soul has always been calling him to be. Or he will naturally fade into the background of your beautiful, expansive life, becoming a chapter that taught you everything you needed to learn, a catalyst that cracked you open so the light could get in, a mirror that showed you exactly where you were abandoning yourself, and exactly what you needed to reclaim. And both outcomes are absolutely perfect. Both outcomes are divinely orchestrated. Both outcomes are exactly what your soul needs for its highest evolution. Both outcomes lead you precisely where you're meant to be on your path, because this journey, this entire experience that has brought you to your knees and then lifted you back up stronger than ever, was never really about getting him back. It was never about manipulating circumstances or controlling outcomes or figuring out the right thing to say or do to make him see what he's missing. It was always about getting yourself back. The version of you that existed before you learned to abandon yourself for love, before you learned to make yourself smaller to make someone else comfortable, before you learned to silence your own needs and desires to accommodate someone else's inability to show up fully. The version of you that knows, without a shadow of doubt, that her worth is not determined by anyone's ability to see it, recognize it, or appreciate it. The version of you that is whole, complete, and overflowing with life force energy, with or without him in your reality. So as Christmas 2025 unfolds in all its magic and mystery, as the divine masculine feels everything we've explored here, all the regret and the longing and the recognition of what he let slip through his fingers, your invitation is not to focus on his feelings, not to obsess over what he's thinking or whether he's finally waking up. Your invitation is to anchor even deeper into your own inner world, to feel your own wholeness radiating from every cell of your being, to celebrate your own growth and how far you've come from those dark nights of the soul, to honor your own journey and every step that brought you to this moment of clarity and strength, because you are not waiting for him to come home anymore. You have realized the profound truth that you are already home. You've found your way back home, within yourself, within your own truth, within the sacred temple of your own being that no one else can enter without your permission, that no one else can disturb without your consent. And from that place of home, from that centered, grounded, sovereign place within yourself, if he does the work, if he truly faces his fears instead of running from them, if he becomes the man his soul is calling him to be rather than staying comfortable in patterns that no longer serve him, there will be space for reunion. There will be an opening for something new to be created between you. But it will not be the reunion of two halves desperately trying to become whole through each other. It will not be codependent or needy or filled with the energy of lack. It will be the conscious, intentional meeting of two whole beings, two complete souls, choosing to create something greater together, choosing to amplify each other's light rather than dim it. That is sacred union. That is divine partnership. That is what all of this pain and separation and growth has been preparing you for all along. The divine masculine is feeling you, beloved. He is feeling your energy shift. He is feeling the weight of his choices and the consequences of his running. He is feeling the pull of his destiny and the call of his higher self. He is feeling the pressure of divine timing, closing certain windows and opening others. He is feeling everything, every emotion he tried to avoid, every truth he tried to deny, every reality he tried to escape. But his feelings do not require your response. His feelings do not require your waiting by the phone or checking his social media or sending energy his way. His feelings do not require your energy, your attention, or your focus. They require his action, his courage, his choice to step up and do differently. And until he makes that choice, until he demonstrates through consistent action that he has truly changed, you get to make yours. Every single day, every single moment. To choose yourself without guilt or apology. To choose your peace over the chaos of wondering and waiting. To choose your path even when you can't see where it leads. To choose your sovereignty even when choosing him feels easier or more familiar. This Christmas, while he feels everything we've explored, while he sits with the emptiness of your absence and the reality of what he's lost, you get to feel something even more powerful, something even more transformative. You get to feel free, truly, deeply, authentically free. Free from the need for his validation to feel worthy or beautiful or enough. Free from the weight of his timeline and his readiness and his process. Free from the prison of waiting, of putting your life on hold, of keeping yourself available just in case. You get to feel the pure joy of your own company, the delight of spending time with yourself and actually enjoying it. The peace of your own presence, of being comfortable in your own skin and your own silence. The power of your own choice, of knowing that you are the creator of your reality and the author of your story. You get to feel what it's like to be whole, not because he finally came back and validated your worth, but because you came home to yourself. Because you remembered who you were before the world told you who to be. And that beautiful soul, that is the greatest gift you could ever receive this Christmas or any other day. Not his return, not his apology, not his sudden awakening, but your own remembering, your own coming back to yourself. The remembering that you are the temple, not just the doorway through which others enter the sacred. That you are the frequency, the vibration, the energy itself, not just the receiver waiting for someone else to broadcast on your wavelength. That you are the miracle, the magic, the manifestation, not just the one sitting on the sidelines waiting for miracles to happen to you. You are everything you've been seeking in him, in others, in external circumstances. And Christmas 2025 is inviting you to finally, fully, beautifully claim that truth as your own. To embody it so completely that it becomes who you are, not just what you know intellectually. So let him feel what he's feeling without making it your responsibility to manage or fix or respond. 2, let the universe do its work in him, its perfect, precise work of breaking him down and building him back up. Let divine timing unfold as it will, in its own wisdom and its own rhythm that you cannot control or rush. And you, beloved, you just keep shining your light so brightly that it illuminates your own path. Keep rising into higher and higher versions of yourself. Keep becoming more authentically, unapologetically you. Keep choosing yourself with such fierce, unshakable devotion that the universe has no choice but to reorganize reality around your frequency, to match your energy, to bring you circumstances and people and opportunities that reflect your new level of being. Because that is your power, the power that no one can take from you. That is your path, the one that only you can walk. That is your purpose, not to wait for him or anyone else to complete you, but to become so fully yourself that everything meant for you, including him if he's truly meant to be part of your destiny, cannot help but find its way home to you. Tell me, beautiful soul, have you felt his energy more intensely during this holiday season? Have you sensed the shift happening in him even from a distance? drop a comment and share what you've been feeling, or simply type "I choose myself" first to anchor into your own sovereignty. Because your story, your experience, your truth might be exactly what another soul needs to hear today. You are not alone in this journey, and your courage to keep choosing yourself is inspiring more hearts than you know.